Hello and welcome to Sailboat Ads, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Last week I did three very sad, I really had to change the name to the sad and the ugly. I looked at three very ugly looking boats that were just, yeah, probably some unfortunate stories there. Anyhow, I got more views on that video than I have on any of the other ones in just a week. So clearly I'm going to listen to what the market is telling me, and that is that you like the ugly stuff. So I'm going to do some more ugly. It's going to stay in Fort Lauderdale because Fort Lauderdale is absolutely one of the boating, yachting, sailing centers, probably really in the entire world. Um, it's certainly a center for super yachts. Anyhow, so there are lots of ugly boats there, and it's, some of them have really sad stories, and some of them are just bad. So today we are going to look at three boats. We're going to start with a boat that wouldn't be out of place in my neck of the world, of O'Day 28. And in fact, if you've been following me at all, you know I've got an O'Day 25, and there's some pretty close similarities. This one's a little newer. um, so let's look at the description. We have an O'Day 28 sailboat, masthead sloop, Westerbeek 12C2, diesel with less than 10 hours, replaced the original universal engine, wheel steering, lazy jacks, roller furling, 4 feet 8 draft VHF, needs work before sailing. Boy, is that the truth. Engine has not been started in years. Bottom has not been cleaned in many years. It needs electric and fiberglass work. Yeah, he doesn't say when this diesel was replaced. So chances are, I mean, great, you replaced it, but it's going to be garbage. It's not going to be worth anything. So let's look at some photos because they're pretty sad. And even these exterior pictures, they just look terrible. I mean, look at the state of the dock, the fenders. We have stuff literally growing on the lines to the fenders. It's pretty funny. Um, and look at this thing. I think this is some kind of post that's actually in the water that you would tie off to, and there's a little there's a little tree there. It's kind of funny. It's kind of sad, but it's kind of funny. Obviously this boat hasn't been touched in a while. Here's another view of the dock, which looks really, really unsafe and dirty and nasty. Um, Here's another picture of the dock, which frankly looks a little worse. Oh, one thing to point out is look at this hole in the companionway hatchboards. So water's been getting inside this thing probably for a long time. Here they've got it covered up with a piece of fabric. Just the general state of this thing is very, very poor. Although it's stunning how stainless steel holds up even when not having been maintained properly. So then we go down below and it doesn't get any better. It looks just completely unkept. You have some Christmas lights, so that's a bonus. Not sure what the point of this is. That looks like a skirt. Yeah, and here's your companionway hatchboard that's missing with a piece of fabric over the top, and yeah, obviously water's gotten in here. And the thing is just a complete mess. I mean, I've got a boat I want to get rid of, but Lordy, when I take pictures of it, it's not going to look like this. Here's stainless that has not been maintained, and it pits, and the weather just absolutely tears it apart. Nice toothpick there if you want one of those. Here's your galley area. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And unfortunately, this is a theme today because all these boats look really, really rough like this one. And this picture actually looks like someone it might be staying here, might be living on board this thing. There's a whole bunch of Powerade sitting there. Yeah, so $3,000. This is like the Ericsson from last week. No offense. This boat is not worth trying to refurbish. You'd spend thousands and thousands and thousands and probably still have a boat that's not worth 10. And my guess is you just find one unforeseen issue after another. Yeah, that's a sad one. Better to strip it of all this hardware. The mast looks like it's in decent shape. Let's come back here. Boom. You've got a bimini. You've got this pedal steel steering's worth a bunch of money. You've obviously got some winches. Anyhow, yeah, it seems to me that's a junker, but good luck to him. Next, we have something. I kind of know my boats. Suncoast, I've never heard of. 50-foot steel sailboat, $20,000 for a 50-footer. Boy, that sounds like too good to be true. And yeah, she is old and needs a lot of work. You can live on her for free while doing the work. Also, except that there's years worth of work here. Also includes a 12-foot aluminum bottom inflatable sides dinghy with Yamaha 25 horsepower engine. Both are bought new in 23. 1,200 watts of solar. Really? Where? Where's your solar? Is that it right there? I don't think we're going to be able to see. 800 amp hours of lithium batteries, all new electronics in 21. Engine with only about 1,000 hours since the last rebuild. So it's the original block. Seawater Pro water maker, all sails except a mizzen. Includes, yeah, obviously this is a mizzen masted boat. All sails including spinnaker, trysail, 2 mast mounted poles, 150 feet of chain, 2 refrigerators, generator run the water maker and water heater. There is a break in the exhaust. I've done a very temporary repair, so no sea trials. We can start the engine, put it in forward reverse to show you how it works. Even has a spare transmission. Don't mind the mess in the pics. We're moving back to land after 5 years traveling on this yacht. Wow. I mean, give him credit for putting it out there, but in my experience, which is substantial, going into many many thousands of people's homes, I do kitchen remodeling as my main business. I've been in literally almost 5,000 homes. People who live like this isn't moving, this isn't remodeling, this is the way they live. And I mean, look at this rust. I don't think that's growth. I think that's rust on the bottom of the hull. Um, yeah, I mean, look at the side of this thing. That is just nasty. You can see rust along the tow rail here. Um, yeah, this is just a sad, sad thing. Now, he said it had a 25 horse on a tender. That's obviously not 25 horsepower. Looks like we've got an old standalone gas generator. And then we started looking at some of the interior and more detaily stuff. It looks like it has a bow thruster. I'd bet several steak dinners that doesn't work. We don't even have the knob for your throttle control. Lovely picture. And then we go below, and things get worse. Um, look at the damage here, and man, I don't know how you fix that on a steel boat. Fiberglass, you cut that out and you make new fiberglass. I suppose you do it with a steel boat too, and then you cover it and paint it. um, looks like a nice sea berth. Obviously, they have electricity that works, 3 laptops and a printer. Looks like someone's home office. Then we get a little view of the galley. You've got some really weird looking stuff on the side here. It looks like a great big hob or stove or range, whatever you want to call it. Double sink. That is a Home Depot faucet. Here's your aft cabin. A, it's a terrible picture, and B, it just looks like absolute chaos. And the problem for me is that if someone keeps their sort of general state of living like this, how much care are they taking of this boat? And it's pretty obvious, not very much. And then we get some really weird pictures. I think that's downtown Miami through a very nasty looking piece of glass. And then we have an exterior photo. I'm guessing this is in better times because the mizzen sail is up. Random picture of the ocean, although you do see what looks like pretty nicely polished stainless steel bollard. That's a hefty looking, or Samson post, or whatever you call that. Another picture of the ocean. There's your little gen set. There's your outdoor grill, but just junk and trash everywhere. Coil these lines, hang them up somewhere. I just don't understand. Great sunset picture. They had to sell that to Florida Chamber of Commerce. This one they should not sell to the Florida Chamber of Commerce, because why do we have a picture of a loading dock, commercial loading dock? And then we have a picture of a sail. This looks like we're about to get a jibe of the boom. Looks like it's already dragging itself over and we're about to slam on the side. Oh, there's your solar. So wow, 20,000. Is this thing worth 20,000? Mm-mm-mm. Not to me. It's not. Again, you could put 100K in this and still not have a boat that's worth 50. 75 maybe. And my suspicion would be there's all kinds of nastiness lurking underneath this this mess here. I'll bet there's galvanic corrosion, and I'll bet there's pitting in that metal. Steel boats have to be properly maintained. So moving on, Tayana. This is a I love this. Look at this picture. Tayana 37 for sale. We don't even have a picture of the boat. Oh, we do have a picture of the boat. That's really weird how the thumbnail came through incorrectly. But this really isn't his ad. Fully operable, roller furling, boat's currently in Miami. You want to see his listing, so let's go over to the listing. I will say this is a nice description. When you get to the pictures, however, once again, it's disappointing. 20,000, very cheap for these boats. These boats in good condition are getting, they're getting close to six figures. They're super high quality, very capable long distance cruisers. Boat's currently in Miami. All photos from January 26. Own the boat 8 years. Sailed from Miami to Puerto Rico, Martinique, Grenada, and back. Have gone cruising for 1 to 2 months in the Bahamas every year since returning to Miami. Plan to continue to do so until the boat is sold. Able-bodied, fully operable project. Nothing about it is polished, but everything is cared for as dictated by need for effective use. Interesting, articulate. Is that AI generated? What makes this Tayana 37 special and upgraded? It has a newer Yanmar installed in 2018 to replace the older Yanmar. I love he's got little dollar signs here to indicate how expensive the upgrade was. I would think that would be a very expensive upgrade. This has a keel step mast, much more rugged than the normal deck step. This mast was newly installed in '08, and the boom and standing rigging are new from that time too. Upward from the deck, turnbuckles. The work and installation was professionally done by Nansen Underwood in Fort Lauderdale. Very expensive, absolutely, but it's '08. Excuse my grandfather clock is chiming in with us right now. Uh, uh, it's almost ready to be redone. It's almost 20 years old now, but it's better than having it be original. What year is this? Does he say? 1980. It's pretty old. Bowsprit was replaced in 18. Square aluminum two-core tightly with a single length of solid cedar. All chain plates were replaced in 18. Steering is rack and pinion. I'm going to skip through some of this. High quality mast steps make climbing to the top of the mast super safe and easy, and doesn't ever foul the rigging. Numerous self-tailing bearing winches. The Aries wind vane has never worked during my ownership. All parts are on board. Yes, we're going to see that. I have Florida title about my name, ready to sign over. The price is 20,000 firm, though I am open to upbidding. Serious inquiries only. And actually, I appreciate him stating this. I have priced the boat competitively. Do not want to have exhaustive conversations about minor equipment, etc. Please focus on buying the boat if that is your interest. Good for you. 20K is your number. Is it worth 20K? Let's look at some photos. Actually, we are on Sailboat Listings, so our pictures are down here. And here is someone who has climbed the mast. Hopefully, he has tied himself off somehow, because that's a long way up. I don't like heights. And I have to say, this for me, as much as I respect the Tayana name and Tayana, however you want to pronounce that, and the quality of construction and Blue Water Cruiser, I don't like how these boats are finished. They're very dark and gloomy to me. The woodwork is it's almost black. It's so dark in here. There's not enough port lights. There aren't enough overhead hatches. This, as I've looked through these pictures, I'm pretty sure this is where he sleeps. Oops, I think we skipped one. Nope. We have the bowsprit. We have the foredeck. Once again, can't you just coil that up? That'd be great. Here's the main entrance to go below. This is the inside of these doors, and they look terrible. This looks all rusted out. Or maybe it's hard to say from this picture what the problem is. All the woodwork in this just looks beat up and tired. I mean, look at this. That looks like it's been in salt water. Wet. Why is the floor shiny? Hope not. Here's looking aft into the cockpit. Tayana's had these weird reverse wheels. Not a huge fan of that. Basically you've got to sit to either side. If you wanted to sit behind it, you got to reach over the pedestal to get to it, which I don't know, counterintuitive to me. This is a terrible picture of the engine. There is an engine under there, I think. Looks like that is your oil cap. Can't really tell anything from that photo. Here's a picture of the main cabin. It's got a bunch of stuff hung up, clutter, and once again, clean your boat up before you take photos. I mean, if you really want to sell this thing, very hard to get a sense for, what kind of actual condition this thing's in. But it definitely looks like a liveaboard. Definitely looks like someone is actually here every day. There's your mast steps. He's very proud of those mast steps. There's your hanging locker. It's a great place to put your stuff. There's a little handhold over there if you're pitching around. There's your wind vane. Steering. This is a very old school way to do it. No one really uses these much anymore. Obviously, the solar panel's in the way. This would have a basically what looks like a big paddle, and as the wind moves this, there would be a second rudder in here that would change the course of the boat as it's going through the water. And so we're back to here. 20,000. This is a boat that if you put some money into, would probably be worth, could it be worth 100 grand again? Yeah, I'm not sure. And it'd take a lot of time and a lot of money. And I mean, he's done a couple of good things to it, but advertising that the rigging replacement being an 08 for a boat that's in southern Florida, salt, sun, that stuff just gets beaten up, eaten up. Anyhow, so those are three sad ones today. Actually, this Tayana's not all that sad, but yeah, just a rough listing. So thanks again, as always, for listening. Hit the subscribe. Hopefully, I'm starting to gain a little momentum with this. Always interested in feedback, which I've received none of in the couple of months I've been doing this. Would love to hear ideas. Where in the world do you want me to go? What kind of boats do you want me to look at? Are there categories? Yeah, just anything that you'd like me to take a peek at, I am open to. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.